Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversation 38. I'm really excited about this topic. It's a topic that is very dear to my heart. The secret to great parenting lies within you. And I'm very passionate about this because I have been a nanny for the past 15 years. And so I have seen all forms of parenting and all its glory and all its sizes and shapes and all of it. But what I have seen the most is a lot of guilty parenting. And what this looks like to me is where parents work really hard to provide for their children and they, work long hours. And so they're not physically there with their children during the day. Um, so then what happens is they feel really bad and they feel really guilty and they feel like they're not doing enough for their child. And so internally as a parent, you're feeling really wrung out and really stressed and really emotional and feeling like you're not doing enough for your child. And what I'm hoping for you to get, if you are a parent, for you to get out of this video is that you are definitely doing more than enough for your child and you're definitely not a bad parent for working and providing financially for your child. Um, and so what happens is like normal child, age appropriate behavior happens, and parents think it's a reflection of their parenting or um, they think it's a reflection of them and then they feel guilty and living with guilt whilst I am not a parent yet um I have lived with guilt. I'm human and I'm sure most humans on this planet have lived with a bit of guilt here and there. It is not a good emotion to have. It doesn't feel nice. It sort of um lingers in your body and turns into illnesses and colds and worse things as well. Um, and so there are so many behaviors that children can do and come up with and things that they can say that is honestly not a reflection of your parenting. And this is the secret. If your toddler is freaking out because a biscuit has snapped in half, or your 10-year-old screams at you, or your teenager slams the door, what do those behaviors represent? If it's not saying you're a bad parent, because it's absolutely not saying that, because children are little humans. Children are human too, and they have big emotions, and they're very small, and they're told what to do all the time. And this is how they react, and this is how they are learning how to be in this world, how to be in this society, and how to be human, so to speak. Um, and so, what is going on, like what is being unsaid behind all those behaviors, behind the toddler screaming and crying because their biscuit is now two biscuits, um, or the 10-year-old being rude or not answering back, and the teenager slamming the door? What's happening behind that is saying, I love you and I feel safe to lose control around you. So, if your children, your toddler, your child, your teenager is exhibiting these behaviors, remind yourself that these are normal behaviors, that it's just part of growing up, and these are all normal behaviors and by no means a reflection of your parenting. And it is a sign that they genuinely feel safe. All day at nursery or at school, children and toddlers and teenagers, they all have to find ways to keep it together, to keep their emotions in, you know, to follow rules and not to freak out. And this isn't saying that they don't feel safe at nursery or school. Chances are they do feel safe, but as a human, we find ways in which we discover ways in which we should behave in different places. And so when we're in nursery, as toddlers, they probably feel like in their sense of learning, maybe throwing a big, massive tantrum, they don't feel safe enough to do that. So it doesn't mean they don't actually feel safe in like the grand scheme of things, because they probably do, given that they go and they have fun and the nursery workers are there and qualified to look after them. Um, but they don't feel safe enough to completely lose control and have those major tantrums, which is probably why they don't have these bigger tantrums at nursery and they do have them with you. And all it's saying is, I feel safe and secure, so I don't have to hold it together anymore because, mummy's here or daddy's here, so I can let loose. And then this doesn't change. As your child gets older, they just get bigger and taller. Um, but hopefully they have more vocabulary and can talk to you, and they can be able to say how their day was and what they're feeling inside. But sometimes they don't have the words for it, and so it comes out with rude answering back, or it can come out back with slamming doors and things like that. And so when when they are reacting in this way, it really is just them saying, look, I love you and I feel safe, help me navigate my way through these big emotions. And chances are all parents love their children and want what's best for them. So, with this in mind, if you are loving your child and your all children, and guiding them through life the best way you know how, then you are doing a terrific job, and definitely 100% better than you think you are doing, because we are our worst critiques and we are our biggest sort of enemies, so to speak. And in our own minds, we will critique ourselves the harshest. Nobody will critique us the way our minds do it. And I don't know why, and I will never know why, only God knows, but I will never know why our human brain does this. But we get these thoughts and we think we're not good enough, and we think that we're not doing the right thing. But if you put love at the center of your parenting, and you love your child and you are doing everything you can within your loving nature, within your knowledge and guidance, you're doing everything you can to guide your child to be a confident young person, to be a confident adult as they grow, then then you are doing amazing. And that's what the secret is behind great parenting. It isn't like do this and do that and 5-step programs and all of this. It isn't complicated. It is very simple. Love yourself, love your child, let love lead in your relationship between yourself and you and your child. And when you do that, you just see your child blossom and you see yourself calm down a little bit as well. Because when we get all riled up in our emotions, adults as well as children, it can feel really sort of like war. It can feel like a war zone. And when we settle back down in this space of love, that we love ourselves, we love our children, and that we can truly know, that we can know in our hearts of hearts that we are doing the best we can, that we can think to ourselves and we can look inside and ask ourselves, am I doing the best I can? And if it is, then it's amazing that you're doing the best you can, that you love your child, that you love yourself, you make time for yourself as well as your children, then you are definitely doing a fantastic job. And, of course, there are loads of behaviors going on and it can be very challenging. And this video isn't about sort of managing those behaviors, it's more understanding that you are an amazing parent simply because you love your child. So, parent or not, we are all, like I said before, we are all most critical about ourselves. And the practical solution to great parenting is to love yourself and your child or children and to let yourself off the hook once in a while, because I can guarantee you that you are doing a fantastic job, because guiding another human being, being a parent, isn't easy. But when we learn to parent ourselves first, parenting this small little child becomes that little bit easier. It becomes a little bit more fun, a little bit more joyous, and a lot less serious. Um, and of course, if you believe in God and if that is something you are interested in, when we look and we transfix our eyes on God, again, even in parenting, especially in parenting, um, we can't get it wrong because whilst we are focusing on love and focusing on God, all of it just points back down to, loving and kindness, compassion, understanding, and it all comes back down to love and understanding. And when we focus on love and we focus on the living God that is here guiding us as our parent, that we have this a safety net that we can fall back on again and again, a million times over. That's, that's kind of what a parent is for their child in a way, in a human sense of the way. Me as a nanny and as a person who wants to be a parent, we are here to guide these little humans and to let them know that they're safe around us and that they can have these tantrums and they can share their emotions and it's all okay. And for people who believe in God, it's the same. It's like having this never-ending energy source and never-ending parent that we can call on Jesus, we can call on God, and God will respond. And when we do that for our children in the human way that we can, that the sort of minute power that we have, um, that God has given us, that when we do that for our child, it is like that there isn't words or numbers that we can put on it, but it is a great service that we are doing for the next generation. So, the secret to great parenting lies within you because you love your child. I know you do because you wouldn't be a parent otherwise. And so, love yourself a little bit more, love your children a little bit more, and know deep down that you are not getting this wrong and that like everything you do is right because you're doing it out of love, you're doing it from the right space. If it's out of love, if it's kind, if it's understanding and compassionate, if it's all of those things, it doesn't hurt. It's not going to hurt yourself, it's not going to hurt your child, and therefore it's you can't get it wrong. So I really hope there's something helpful and motivational here in the secret behind great parenting. And if you've got any questions or any comments, please feel free to comment below this video or email me privately. And I will see you again in 2 weeks' time. Lots of love and bye for now.